So back in December, I received a Scent Explorer sample bag. Probably had to be one of the worst days of my life because it was a few samples I received that I immediately fell in love with and knew I was going to have to spend some money. We're going to talk about that today. Intro. Welcome back. So as I was stating, in December I received this not fateful day. Right before Scent Explorer, I received this bag, and then I waited until the actual virtual event to start trying out the fragrances. I made a mistake and picked this one out the bag to wear. Man, when I say I immediately fell in love with just the samples wears, that same day, I immediately hopped on it online, had to find it, and bought it. So, give you a breakdown how it looks. So this is the top. It comes with a postcard. It has memo on the back. And this is how it comes in. Now this is a very bad fingerprint monster, but yes, it comes with this. It's kind of deep too, so when you take off the box, you don't knock your bottle don't go flying. And this is the bottle right here. So other than, name of the perfume, name of the house. Okay, it does have concentration. It doesn't have the size on it. And at the bottom, you have all of that, including the batch code. So, we're going to get into the smell now. Just as a quick reminder. So to open and blast, if you're not scared of or think you're going to smell alcohol, you're going to get the freshness of this like bergamot. It's not a juicy bergamot. I would pretty much more say it's on the bitter side because it's really not juicy. It's not a real fruity, but it's giving, freshness to what you're going to get immediately after you get the bergamot. Is a bunch of spices. You're going to get cardamom, you're going to get leather, and for those who might not like it, you're going to get cumin. Yes, I mean it's like a slightly BO animalic cumin, and when I say slightly BO, it's not too much of a bad BO smell. It is going to kind of smell like sweaty skin, animal skin, human skin. But that initial punch of cumin is only going to last about maybe 5 to 10 minutes before the cardamom, the leather, and the other spices in here start doing their thing. So yeah, it's already kind of going away now. So if you don't like cumin, you may not like this, or you may just, want to fast forward through the beginning, not smell it straight off your skin. Because in the air, the cumin doesn't come off BO-ish, but when you smell it directly off the skin, especially putting your nose very close to where you sprayed, you are going to get that, slight BO animalic, nuance for maybe anywhere between 2 minutes to, I would say, 10 minutes, depending on your skin. But once that cumin bomb dries down, it just evolves into this highly beautiful, spicy leather. This thing is like a cardamom bomb, and I mean, kind of like La Nuit, but it takes it, a lot spicier. You're gonna get, some saffron. The cardamom comes off a little cinnamon-like at different phases of the evolution of this fragrance. Soft leather and like a sweet but spicy cumin, saffron, and whatever other spices they used in this. I'm not looking at notes. I'm just going directly off of nose, which I have worn this bottle. You're not going to be able to see it, but it is down to here since I got this bottle back in the middle of December. So with all that being stated, it's a fairly linear fragrance with, you know, different nuances coming out at different hours. Like, what was it, about 2.5 hours, the whole cumin vibe kind of settled down. You get the cardamom, which is kind of cinnamon like. You definitely get like this leather, this like, it's not harsh as Tuscan leather, but it's like stronger than a suede leather. It's like, to me, the leather note is what, you know, it never dominates fully. It's like playing tag team with the cardamom, the saffron. There's supposed to be oud in here, which I don't get no oud in here, but I can probably see it given that, you know, some of that underlying smoky, spicy, you know, vibe to this fragrance. So fast forward after that first 2.5 hour mark. Now when you get to the 4 hour mark is where you're going to be able to pick up things such as the saffron. You can get a little vetiver midway through, but what surprised me was around that 4.5, 5 hour mark. Me smelling my skin and just smelling kind of in close proximity to me, was you actually get this like this more than slight earthy patchouli vibe, which, I mean, if you're not a fan of patchouli, hopefully you won't, you know, recognize it. But if you are a fan of patchouli, midway through the dry down, you are going to get it. It's going to, you know, and I think it brings some sort of balance to all the spiciness, the underlying sweetness of the, you know, saffron and the cardamom, which it just makes it a very, very well-rounded fragrance. A lot of people compare this to Le Desert Americain. I can't co-sign that because I don't have that fragrance, but due to the fact that they say that smells like you're going through like some sort of Middle Eastern spice market, I can completely agree and concur with that, you know, train of thought or sentiment. So pretty much after that part, once the patchouli starts peeking through the vetiver, you're going to get about maybe 6-7 hours in where it's going to just be mainly leather, oud, and I get this musk note, and the musk helps with this, not totally animalic, but it's not a clean musk to me. It's like it got some oomph to it. So when I say it's fairly linear, it is, but once again, you're going to get different nuances that pop in and out the fragrance as it's developing and evolving, you know, going from the 1.5 hours up until that 7 hour mark. This really shocked me because from the first time I took a whiff of it, which made me buy the bottle, I didn't go through all the stages. I mean, as soon as I smelled it, I'm like, oh, wow, I like that. I need it. Impulse buy. But other than that, I do not regret this, even at the price which this, you know, generally runs for. I definitely don't regret it. This to me is like, you know, smell wise, I would say 8, 8.5. I put it up there with some of my favorites, especially after that initial 10 minutes with the cumin blast or punches to the nose. Because cumin generally does my skin chemistry filthy, but on here, it didn't get too BO-ish. Once again, it's like, okay, little sweat, little animalic, a little bit more than slightly BO. I'm not gonna lie to y'all, but it wasn't like offending my nose. It wasn't too off-putting. It did make me go, I didn't get that when I sampled it. So yeah, so that's gonna lead us into performance. I've read what certain people said on the different Facebook groups. I'm not sure what batch they have. Mine is AL. It looked like 10030. But the performance on this is pretty much insane. Now, out of the maybe 6 to 7 times I've tried it, this is on average. If I, did it on my hand, even with numerous hand washings, having to wash your hands, going out places, touching anything, I'm getting almost 8 to 9 hours on hand. I'm getting almost 10 hours like in neck and chest region, and this in between the crack of my elbow is almost a full day. I mean, until I took a shower, and then even after taking a shower, you're still catching, many wafts of it. So I think it kind of depends on your body chemistry and where you apply it at. Because like I stated, I mean, hand, even washing it, still good 8 hours. I mean, really washing it, sanitizer, neck, almost 10 hours. But that, the top part of my elbow, this part right here, I forgot what's the scientific name, is at least 14, 16 hours. And then even like I stated, even taking my nightly shower, it was still there after the shower, me lotioning up, kind of brought it back to life, during the moisturizing phase of after a shower. Sillage, great. I mean, this is like, it's outstanding for the first 2 hours. Matter of fact, it's my scent of the day today. It was about 27, 28 degrees. I went to go take the garbage out. I walked back in the same exact trail. Now, this wasn't part of my testing, but this is what I picked up. Take the garbage out, on my way back to the house, same trail. It's just wafting in 27-degree air, very cold air. Get back into the room. Where I sprayed it at, it's still there an hour later. Second hour, still outstanding. Third hour, great. Fourth hour, good. 4.5 hours is where it finally started calming down and becoming like the run-of-the-mill designer fragrance, to where it still wasn't a skin scent at that 5-6 hour mark. It was definitely noticeable, but it just wasn't at the epic proportions of how that first 3.5, and 4 hours was. So, I mean, you take it as you want to. I will say this. There's a good and bad thing about the performance. I mean, a lot of people, the good thing is, if you're going to spend this type of money for a fragrance, a lot of people want it to have beastly performance. That's a good thing. Bad thing is, if you're a type of person like me, who have, quite a few fragrances and sometimes want to switch up midday, it's going to be hard to scrub this thing off. Because as I stated, there's been numerous times I've worn it, taking a shower, thinking I was going to wear something else, and it's still there. Do have a pro tip, which I've done as well on the numerous cases. I'm not sure what made me do it. When you wear the African leather, you might want to layer it, one spray of like Armani Co Profumo. I thought that really took away the cumin smell and gave you more of a root beer type of vibe to go with the cardamom balm, soft leather at times, and the saffron, and especially the patchouli in the dry down. So, I mean, that's just a pro tip. You don't have to do it. A lot of people don't layer their fragrances, but when I do wear this, I tend to lean to layer it with the Armani Co Profumo. So, pro tip, smell, performance. So yeah, that's pretty much gonna wrap it up for this review. Once again, if I did have to rate African Leather by Memo Paris, this undoubtedly, and this is just my opinion, I'm not trying to sell bottles, I'm not paid to advertise this, just giving you how I feel. I would pretty much give this like an 8.25 for the fact, since I don't have any Tower fragrances or any others. Yeah, I do have Spice Bomb, but Spice Bomb has nothing on this. It really doesn't. I mean, the way how the cardamom slash gives it this spicy but sweet like cinnamon vibe, I really don't have nothing in my collection like this. So I undoubtedly will give this fragrance an 8.25 out of 10. Performance, I really don't like ranking performance, but once again, just depending on where I put it at, 8 hours hand, 10 hours neck, 14 plus hours on a large part of my arm, mainly the inside of my crease of my elbow. So there we have it. If you do have this, you know, I want you to put down in the comments how you feel about it, what batch, in case of, you know, you're not getting the type of performance I have, which is the batch code. But, you know, until the next time, you know, let's grow and evolve together. In this book of life, turn to the Paige of Stylez. Y'all be blessed and walk in peace.